So here's what's about to happen. We're going to test the MIOPS to see if they fix the problem where when the phone is off, like when the screen is locked, if the timer will continue for long exposures and things like that. Let's get into this. Hey, this is Scott Weidenkivowitz, a storyteller with a camera talking about all things photographers like you and I are thinking about. In this video, we're going to be talking about the MIOPS and seeing if they solve the problem. A quick thank you to MIOPS for sending me their product to test out for you all, and thank you to Mac Worldwide Warranty for partnering with me on all of my videos. If you're unfamiliar with the MIOPS, please be sure to check out my video, which I will link to in the description above and in a card right here, and just check that out because you can see, well, how cool the MIOPS remote really is. This video is going to just be about testing to see if they solved a problem which I found in my initial testing where when the phone was off, like if a phone screen actually went off, like if you have a, power saving mode on your screen so it goes off after 30 seconds and your long exposure is 3 minutes, well, it turned out that the time would just stop and your long exposure would continue. It wouldn't close the mirror. So what I've done is I've set up my Nikon D850 so that we can actually hear the mirror close when the time is up. And I'm going to set this up. On top of the camera, I have the MIOPS remote. I have the cable going to the 10-point connector over here on the side of the D850. And then I'm going to mount my iPhone right here. So you'll see I will actually set the time and then the screen's going to go off after like, I don't know, 30 seconds, whatever my phone is set to. So I'm going to set it for a 2 or 3 minute exposure. We'll see, and then we'll see what happens, and maybe I'll be able to set a timer on screen so that we actually see it happening at the same time. Let's give this a go. And by the way, pardon the echo. If you haven't seen one of my previous videos about the water damage in my studio, there's a lot of, all the sound dampening stuff is currently gone as the room gets redone. What we have right here is the MIOPS is on and connected, and I am ready to go. The camera is in bulb mode. I have a lens cap on the front of the lens. It is just going to capture black. I'm not worried about the actual picture. I just want to test how this works. So in the MIOPS remote app, I am going to go to timed release and change the exposure. I'm going to do 3 minutes and lock that in. And then I'm going to, now it's locked. And then when I hit this button, you are going to hear the mirror go up and it's going to start taking a picture. Here we go. So the next 2 minutes and 40 seconds of this video is going to be quite boring. So instead of you just sitting here for 2 minutes and now 37 seconds, I'm going to stop. I'm going to basically fast forward, not stop recording. I'm going to fast forward once we get to the screen on my phone going black, and then pick it up when it comes, when the time is up. We'll see what happens when that happens. Now in the past, the MIOPS remote, when you're doing this, the screen would go black on its own. Interesting thing as I see that there's a typo, it says real ease instead of release, in timed release. Now, what used to happen is the screen would just go black because of power saving mode, you save your battery life because the screen would turn off. But it looks like the MIOPS remote is sort of tying into like what videos do to the phone by keeping the screen on. So that is a good thing that's keeping it on, which of course drains your battery more because now your screen's running. So I'm going to do a test a second time once this is done and just see what happens if I manually turn off the screen to see if it stops the mirror, stops the exposure or something like that. We're currently at the 30-second mark. Alright, so it finished. That was no problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the time to, let's just say 30 seconds. I'm going to do 30 seconds, lock that in, just so we can make sure that basically as soon as I push the button to trigger the release, I'm going to turn the screen off. And that way we can see what happens after 30 seconds. Here we go. Now, this is going to be the great test of what happens for what people will tend to do by turning their screens off. Most people won't leave their screen on. They're going to want to start the remote and put their phone in their pocket or go to Instagram or something like that. So actually that's going to be my next test, is what if I change the app as well. So let's give this 30 seconds. It looks like it actually did do the job. But if you look right there, it says 28 seconds. So although it did go for 30 seconds, it looks like the timer itself stopped at 28 seconds. So I will verify when I get to Final Cut Pro if that exposure, actually I can just look right here. Okay, so that exposure was 29.9 seconds. So it looks like it did in fact do 30 seconds even with the screen off. So I'm going to do another 30 seconds, but what I'm going to do is change from the MIOPS app directly to something like Instagram, and let's see what happens. And now I'll pretend like I'm using Instagram. Let's just look at stories.
Bobby and I going on an adventure.
Going on an adventure.
Probably dying to know what this adventure is. Bobby and I.
I'm dying to know.
You're dying.
I'm dying to know.
We're going to Nashville for the first flight thing that.
Alright, so let's go back. Now it stopped at 29 seconds, which is when I immediately switched to the other thing. Let me just unlock and stop. And let's check out that photo. 29.9 seconds. So again, it looks like it is working when you're either the phone is locked or when you go to a different app, but even just obviously when the screen is on, it is working. So I think I just answered the question, did MIOPS fix the problem? They did. I don't know which firmware or software update for the app that it was, firmware update for the remote or the app update. I don't know which one did it, but it solved the problem. My guess is it was one of the app updates that has happened since I recorded my MIOPS video so long ago. But I'm glad that it's been fixed. I hope that this proved that in 3 sort of common situations, just leaving it be, screen on, turning your phone, locking the screen, or switching to another app and then using a different app, either way, it is working. Even though it locks and the time on the screen itself looks like it's weird, and even though there's a typo on there, it's working. Proof is in the EXIF data, so there we go. Good job, MIOPS. And if you like this video, click that subscribe button below right now. I publish new videos every Monday and Thursday, whenever possible. You don't want to miss it. Karate kick the notification bell.